How are you guys doing? Welcome to another episode. Okay, so we're going to talk about a super interesting topic today. But before we move on, quick introductions. My name is Yusra Ishaq. I'm a health and fitness behavior change coach. I work with amazing women from all over the globe, helping them achieve their health and fitness goals. My approach is really through the lens of behavior change. The majority of women who come to me are busy working moms, right? And they've often tried all the diets out there. They've any diet you can think of, they've tried. And the reason they've knocked on my door is because either the diet didn't work, right? Or it temporarily worked and they lost the weight, but they regained all the weight back. And for some, unfortunately, dieting that strictly may have led to a binge eating disorder or some form of disordered eating. Hence, they come to me for us to work through that. It's something I'm really passionate about as well, just empowering women to eat in a way that serves them, but also be able to eat the foods they enjoy without being scared of food, without demonizing food. Now, over the course of the last few days, I've had so many people send me a clip from Dr. Eric Berg. What else, right? And this clip said, the reason you're not losing weight, it's not because of calories in or calories out. It's not about energy balance. It's because you're too stressed and your cortisol hormone is high. Now, number one, we don't have the evidence to kind of show that the level of cortisol is what's stopping you from losing weight. Yes, hormones can impact body fat, but it impacts body fat distribution. Example, sex is steroid hormones, so estrogen, because women, as long as you're before menopause, you have higher estrogen, and what this does is it distributes body fat, and this is why you find a lot of women store body fat around their hips and their butts, their glutes and stuff like that. For men, because of testosterone, they store body fat around their bellies. Cortisol can have a small impact in where body fat is stored, but all of this is within the context of energy balance. If you're not losing fat, total body fat, it is because you're not in a caloric deficit. It is because you're not burning more than what you're eating. Additionally, our genetics as well play a big role in where we store fat. Right. So in the context of everything, in the context of a healthy diet, as long as you're in a deficit, you will lose body fat. What annoys me about reductionist approaches like this and messages like this that like to pinpoint one thing, or it's your hormones, right? What it does is it stops people from actually moving the big rocks. It stops them because this person is thinking, you know what, it's not the fact that I'm overeating or I'm not exercising. It's actually because I have high cortisol. This is why I have belly fat, or this is why I'm heavier. No, right? If you're stressed, right? If your cortisol is high because you're stressed, then yes, manage your stress, right? Sleep well. Right? Rest. Try to find ways to manage your stress. Go for a walk. Listen to things that calm you. Stress can cause us to gain weight, but not because of cortisol. Stress causes us to gain weight because for the majority of us, when we're stressed, what do? We eat. We comfort eat. We emotionally eat. Right? So if you're able to manage your stress, right, and you stop comfort eating and emotionally eating, you'll automatically start to lose weight, not because you've reduced cortisol, but because you've reduced the amount of calories you're eating. So instead of sitting around and us worrying about, oh, how much insulin I have, and this is what you'll find in these messages. Or your insulin is too high, this is why you're not losing weight. You have insulin resistance, this is why you're not losing weight. You have high cortisol, this is why you're not losing weight. Crap. right? These hormones, yes, they can impact our hunger and all of these things. True, right? But they're still within the context of energy balance. If at all, if anything, if you're actually consuming less calories than you're burning, you will lose weight regardless of how much cortisol is in your system. The end. If cortisol was stopping us from losing fat, then the kids in Yemen, starving kids in Yemen who are dying, we don't see them having a lot of belly fat. I mean, they're the most stressed they're ever going to be, aren't they? But do you see them walking around with big bellies? No, because it's not a thing. So when people try to pinpoint hormones as a reason that we're not losing weight, they're disregarding the context of energy balance, and they're just using reductionist approaches, which are not helpful. I've had people try to manage their insulin. God knows how they do that, by the way, right? Try to stop insulin from rising, try to stop cortisol from rising. Did you know the moment you exercise, your cortisol is going to go up? You know why? Because exercise is a stress to the system. A good stress, but it's stress to the system. Cortisol can go up. It's a normal hormone that goes up and down, right? It's not something we need to worry about. It's not anything like that. If your cortisol is so high, and you have people who have insanely unhealthy high levels of cortisol, go see a doctor. You're not changing that through nutrition. I assure you, go see a doctor. But majority of people, right, just manage your stress, sleep well, stop worrying about trying to balance hormones, whatever that means. If you stick to the basics, eat well, eat your veggies, eat your protein, right? Be mindful of the ultra processed food, go for walks, exercise, sleep, be happy. Well, if you stick to these basics consistently day to day, this is where your results are going to come from, not from trying to stop cortisol from going up. It doesn't help you. You're focusing on the trees instead of looking at the forest. Look at the big picture. Moving these big rocks are really what's going to help you shift that weight that you're trying to shift. I don't know what that kid is doing back there. I have no idea. 1 second, babe. Okay. I think that's it from me today. If you have any thoughts about this, if you've experienced anybody telling you this, that the level of your hormones is what's stopping you and stuff like that, please reach out. Just to reiterate, I am not saying that hormones aren't impacting our nutrition. They can. Right? I mean, our body runs on hormones, literally. Ghrelin is a hormone that makes us hungry, that makes us feel hungry. Leptin is a hormone that, it's a satiety hormone, an appetite regulation hormone. Hormones will impact people with PCOS because of the hormones. They tend to burn less calories than someone without PCOS. But all of this is still within the context of energy balance. Right? So if you look at your individual experience, hormone and all of these things taken into account, and you eat in a way where you're burning more than what you're consuming, you will lose body fat. So look at the big picture, move the big rocks that are actually gonna shift things for you. Exercise, eat your vegetables, eat your protein, sleep. So many people ignore sleep. Right? Manage stress, absolutely. Right? Move more. Focus on these things, and you'll never have to worry about hormones and stuff like that, because it's not stuff we can measure anywhere accurately. It's not stuff that we can change in any shape or form. So why do we worry about it? And what you often, the people who like to use these kind of methods, like, oh, it's your cortisol, oh, it's your insulin, they often have something to sell every single time. And all it does is it distracts you from actually taking the actions that will help you shift the weight. You stay stuck in your head, oh my God, okay, I am like this. And it's that I was talking to an amazing woman today. And she had this experience, and she said, you know what, because I thought it was like my cortisol, I used that as a thing to comfort me, like, oh, you know what, I'm like this because of my cortisol. And it stopped her from taking the actions that she actually could. And now she's taking those actions and she's seeing results, right? So when we believe these stories from these gurus, and I don't care whether they have a title of a doctor or whatever, they all have no idea what they're talking about. When we believe these stories from these gurus, oh, it's your hormones, it's your cortisol, it's your insulin, it's your this, right? It stops us from taking the actions that will actually get us results. Right? So don't focus on the trees. Look at the forest. Look at everything in your life. Move the big rocks that will actually help you shift things. And focusing on hormones is not it. Okay, I'll talk to you ladies soon. Bye-bye.